Hello everyone, how are you all? It's Laura here from See Clear Counselling. Welcome to this week's video. It's lovely to have you all here again, and for those of you that can't watch me live, then hopefully you'll be able to see me on the replay. So this week is Mental Health Awareness Week, and the theme for Mental Health Awareness Week is kindness. So this week's video is going to be all about kindness, and I've been reading up on kindness and finding out a lot more about kindness than I knew before, and I'm quite excited to share all the things that I've found out about kindness. So for those of you that haven't tuned in to one of my videos before, I'm Laura and I run my own private counselling business, See Clear Counselling in Poole in Dorset, and I offer telephone, online video, and when we're able to again, face-to-face counselling. And it's been great to be able to offer online and video counselling because that's opened it up that I can work with anyone around the country now, which is fabulous. I always put these videos back on to Facebook page as replays, and I always write a blog after these videos, so you can read my blog on my website www.seeclearcounselling.co.uk, and I've also opened up a group for people that are struggling with anxiety at this difficult time through COVID-19, and we've got now a nice little Facebook group called Beating Anxiety Through COVID-19 and Beyond, and if you want to join that, then just look for us on Facebook and answer the questions and I'll let you in. The children next door are out in the garden, so you might hear lots of shouting and even some crying, but they're okay. They are enjoying themselves, I think. They're two boys and I think they're always fighting. Hi Jackie, thank you for joining us. Hi Marie, thank you very much for coming and watching today. So, as I say, I'm going to talk about kindness today because Mental Health Awareness Week is focusing on kindness. And every year the Mental Health Foundation put a Mental Health Awareness Week together, usually the second or third week of May. And they've been doing that since 2001, and every year they choose a different theme. And I think that they chose kindness this year because of the arena that we're in at the moment with COVID-19. And actually, we're seeing an awful lot of acts of kindness happening around the country. And I know that Facebook themselves have got their little COVID-19 kind of place where people can ask for help or people can offer help. And so kindness is really spreading around the country, and lots of people doing things for strangers, people they know, family members, neighbours. So there's a lot of kindness being spread around the country at the moment. And I think the Mental Health Foundation felt that, you know, we needed to capture this and to be able to continue that kindness for after we're out of this isolation period and beyond COVID-19. So thinking about kindness and thinking about what I was going to do for this video, one of the things that struck me and one of the things that I often find when I talk to clients is that people find it quite easy sometimes to be kind to other people, but actually being kind to ourselves is much more difficult. You know, people kind of think that they need to help people first and they can offer other people kindness, but actually being kind to ourselves is sometimes much more difficult to do. And so I think that we need to start with kindness at home and actually think about how we can be kind to ourselves. And if we can start to be kind to ourselves, it makes us stronger and it makes us more able to help other people. So really consider about how you can be kind to yourself. I was kind to myself today because I've been working quite hard this morning, had 4 clients back to back, and it was 4 hours of active listening, and then I was going to come on here and I had a bit of a space and I could have done my emails and all my follow-ups and things, but I thought, no, I'm going to be kind to myself and I'm going to go out for a walk and I'm going to clear my head ready for the video. And that's what I did, and that feels much nicer for me, and I feel in a much better place because I've been kind to myself. Hi Jackie, thanks for joining us. So start with being kind to yourself, and also consider when people offer you kindness, how you accept that kindness that others offer you. I think quite often people reach out to us with kindness and we almost think that maybe we're not worthy of their kindness, maybe we don't deserve that kindness, that actually we can do things for ourselves and we don't need their kindness. And sometimes we can reject other people's kindness because of those feelings that we have. And I'd say put aside all those feelings. You know, someone's reached out to you because they want to be kind. And if you reject someone's kindness, I wonder how that feels for them. So actually think when someone offers you out kindness that actually you are worthy of their kindness. You do deserve their kindness, and it's nice sometimes to be able to accept someone's help. So think about when someone offers you kindness, whether or not you're going to accept that kindness, because I'll tell you what, you're going to get a great lot of benefits from accepting that kindness, and the person who gives that kindness is going to get a lot of benefits, and I'm going to talk about all those benefits in a moment. I suppose the third area to talk about is those people that really find kindness very difficult to understand. I've worked a lot with survivors of childhood abuse, whether that be emotional abuse, mental abuse or physical abuse. And kindness can be a really difficult place for those people to sit with. They don't perhaps understand what kindness is. They haven't seen a lot of kindness through their life, or kindness may have been used a little bit as a manipulation for them, that, you know, kindness is offered to them to enable someone to then go forward with that emotional abuse or whatever abuse they suffered. So for some people it can be really, really difficult to accept kindness and actually really feel deep down that they are not worthy of that kindness. So really consider that when you're thinking about kindness and how people accept your kindness. So, as I say, I found out loads of brilliant stuff about what kindness can do for us. So I'm going to share that with you now. So, what were the benefits of kindness that I found? Well, first of all, it releases loads of wonderful good hormones within our body. Just the act of kindness stimulates some receptors in our brain and releases these hormones into our body. So we're going to talk about all those wonderful hormones that we can release. Secondly, if we want to gain rewards from kindness, then repeated kindness will actually bring us a lot more than just the odd bit of kindness here and there. Kindness is contagious. So actually when we give a kind act, we can have that ripple effect and actually start kindness spreading around to other people. Kindness increases your lifespan. So what a great thing to be able to live longer because you're offering kindness and you're accepting kindness. And kindness decreases the effects of a lot of physical conditions for us because of all these wonderful hormones that we've started by the kind act that we've done or we've received. So let's look a little bit more at all of those. So what are those hormones that we can release when we're doing acts of kindness, or we're receiving acts of kindness, or we're being kind to ourselves? Well, the first one is oxytocin, and oxytocin is known as the love hormone. What a lovely name for a hormone, the love hormone. The other one is dopamine, and that's called our happy hormone. Again, another great name for a hormone. And the third one is our endorphins that we release. And our endorphins are actually our body's natural painkillers. So that's some great hormones that we release because of offering kindness or receiving kindness, because kindness starts firing up some receptors in our brain, and these receptors start off that kind of cascade towards us releasing all these wonderful hormones. So oxytocin is actually the hormone that is released when a mother breastfeeds her baby. And oxytocin gives us this real feeling of connection with other people, this connectedness that we have with others, and kind of feeling that we can trust people and feel closer to people. So when we're kind to others, the way that they receive that is quite often can start some really wonderful relationships, because you know, those people that are kind to you, quite often you feel much closer to them, and that's because of that oxytocin that's being released. Oxytocin is also known as our cardioprotective hormone, because actually when it's released and it goes into our bloodstream, it starts a cascade of releasing other hormones that dilate our blood vessels and make our blood vessels bigger. And that means that our blood can pump around our body much more easily, and it means our heart doesn't have to work quite so hard. And so it protects our heart because it's not working so hard. So again, a really good a physical connection to actually doing an act of kindness. Dopamine, that lovely happy hormone, gives us this feeling of euphoria when it's released into our body. And quite often a lot of drugs are dopamine based because they give us that euphoric feeling. But we can do that naturally by being kind to people. So that euphoric feeling comes from our dopamine being released. Hi Linny, nice of you to join us. So by releasing that dopamine, we're getting that feel-good factor. And actually we can say that when someone is helping someone else, they get this helper's high. Well, that's part of that dopamine being released into the brain and giving us that real happy feeling. And then, as I say, we'll also release endorphins, and endorphins is our natural painkiller. And that will reduce down our aches and pains that we experience, because by releasing endorphins into our body, they find our pain receptors and they release, they reduce that pain and those aches that we're going through. So if you've got chronic conditions, actually by offering help, receiving help, being kind to yourself, they will all start those hormones kind of rushing around your body. But as I said, we need to do repeated kindness, because the benefit of kindness is found much more when we repeat kindness and we kind of put it into our daily routine and into our daily lives. Because those hormones that we release, they actually only release for a very short time. So when we kind of switch on those receptors in our brain because of the kind act that we're doing, those hormones are released for about 3 or 4 minutes. So actually, you know, we get that euphoric feeling, that high feeling, that feeling of closeness with others, but it can be short-lived. But if we continue to do acts of kindness, we continue to release those hormones into our body, and we get that feeling for a longer term basis. And it can be really little things, you know, like walking past someone in the street and saying, "Oh, I love your dress, that's really nice." That always makes me feel good. But every time before I do one of these videos, my partner always sends me a little text saying good luck. And that always makes me smile. And that little act of kindness, you know, he's doing that every week. It's a repeated act of kindness that he does. So repeated acts of kindness keep those hormones pumping through our body. So don't think of it as short term. Think of, you know, how can you help people? How can you be kind to people? And it's not just about being kind to others, it's that being kind to yourself as well. So think about through the day how you can do things that are kind to yourself and how you can do things that are kind to others. Hi Mona, thanks for joining us. We're talking all about kindness, and we've all these wonderful hormones that we can release into our body through kindness. So kindness is also contagious, because actually by watching an act of kindness, these receptors that we have in our brain actually can't work out whether the act of kindness is being given to us or whether it's being given to someone else. So when we watch acts of kindness, it's almost like we're receiving that kindness ourselves. And I'm sure that you felt that when you're watching TV programs and things and you see that someone gives someone some kindness, you can almost feel that kindness yourself. When you see someone being kind to someone in the street, you can almost feel that kindness coming back to yourself. And actually, if you're in a crowd of people and someone does an act of kindness to someone else, it has that ripple effect that actually someone can see that and feel that kindness themselves, and then feel they want to do that kindness for someone else. So we can really see how kindness can spread itself out far and wide. And we've seen this through COVID-19. You know, people have these lovely ideas about how they can help someone, and that kind of ripple effect happens. I mentioned Captain Tom a few weeks ago about all that he'd done, and actually, raising that money for the NHS, and that ripple of kindness that kind of went through the country because of what he was doing. So watching acts of kindness is as good as receiving that kindness yourself. So think about, the TV programs that you watch and seeing things of kindness, they can actually help release those hormones into your body. And as I said previously, all of these wonderful hormones can increase your lifespan because they're all protective hormones. They're hormones that protect us and are making us feel good. When we're under stress and we're feeling threat or we're feeling worried, we switch on what we call our stress hormone, cortisol, which starts adrenaline flowing through our body. And when we've consistently got this stress hormone cortisol in our body and this adrenaline running through, then we start to feel that stress very much in our body, and we can get lots of illnesses like headaches, stomach aches, our IBS can play up, and it has all sorts of far-reaching effects on our physical being. In the same way that by having these acts of kindness, we kind of start to pump these happy hormones, these love hormones into our body, and they actually start to reduce the amount of stress hormone that we have in our body. And the stress hormone, if we have too much of it, we start to age quicker. Whereas actually, if we've got these other hormones to counteract that stress hormone, then our aging process starts to slow down. It's actually been shown in studies that people aged 55 and over who do 2 acts of volunteering a week on a consistent basis actually increase their lifespan by an amazing amount, by 30 or 40%. That's incredible. It's also been shown in a study that Exeter and Oxford University did about self-compassion and being kind to ourselves, that people that did 6 acts of kindness to themselves on a weekly basis over a month, that actually all of those things that were bad for them started to decrease. Their anxiety decreased, their depression decreased, their aches and pains decreased, their connectedness in their relationships became much better. So actually, by being kind to yourself, you're increasing all these lovely things around you, which increases your lifespan. And, all of those physical conditions, think of all of those benefits that we can do to ourselves physically. Because actually, if we live in this place of stress and worry all the time, we're actually decreasing our lifespan. But if we can live in a place where there's kindness, we're giving kindness to ourselves, we're giving kindness to others, and we're accepting the kindness from others, we're kind of being in that place where physically we're much better. So as I said, our endorphins are reducing our aches and pains. Our stress hormone, cortisol, is being reduced. We've got this oxytocin going through our body, which is the cardioprotective hormone. And I say we're reducing down heart disease and how much our heart is working. And it's actually said that people who do a lot of kindness are big-hearted people. And actually that could be an actual reality fact, because their hearts are much more open because the blood vessels are bigger and the blood is pumping around much more freely and much more easily. So actually their hearts may be bigger and they're going to be at less risk of heart disease. So what's some great benefits that kindness can offer us? Not only kindness that we give to other people, but the kindness that we give to ourselves, and actually putting ourselves in a place where we can accept kindness from other people. So really, think about every day how you can be kind to yourself, how you can be kind to others, and actually when others are kind to you, how you can accept that kindness. and you will really probably start to see a shift in how good life feels by releasing all those wonderful hormones like the love hormone and the happy hormone and those endorphins that are our own natural painkiller. So I hope that you've all enjoyed listening about the benefits of kindness. As I say, I will upload this video onto my Facebook page, and I'll write a blog and put that onto my website, www.seaclearcounselling.co.uk. But I'm hoping that you're going to go away from this live video and think about, particularly in this week of Mental Health Awareness Week, where we're focusing on kindness, maybe think about those little kind acts that you can do for yourself and for others, and really take advantage of what kindness can do to us, both physically, emotionally and mentally. And as I always say, if there are any problems that you have in life and you're having difficulties, please do reach out to others for help. Being able to reach out to others and accept help from others is really important. And so if you need to talk to someone, talk to a friend or a family member, or if you feel that a more professional help is useful, then please do get in touch. And as I say, I'm offering video counselling, telephone counselling, and hopefully soon face-to-face counselling again as well. But as always, I want to say to you to stay safe and stay healthy. And this week, I want to say to you, think about acts of kindness, firstly to yourself and also to others. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you again next week at the same time. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.